Well, good evening. Have a lovely warm evening it is too today. Right. Have I got some fun this evening? First off, I have new toys. I have got, at long last, myself a 486DX266 computer, which I've been repairing and sorting out, and it's working pretty well. It arrived in bits, as these things often do. But fortunately there was nothing particularly wrong with it. I was thinking I might fix it up and sort it out on stream, but the fix was just so trivial really that it wouldn't have made a great video, so I didn't bother. Plus I just could not wait until a Monday evening to sort it out. Yeah, so it arrived, the processor had fallen out, the various bits had come apart inside, which had needed clipping back together. The biggest issue with it was, of course, the CMOS battery was flat. It's one of those little Dallas clock modules, which is good in one sense because they don't leak like the rechargeable batteries do, so you don't end up with corrosion. But bad in another because you just can't get them. Or if you do, the chances are the battery in it's flat anyway. Fortunately, modifying it is reasonably easy. Just cutting a few holes in the side, soldering on a new battery. It's a 10-minute job, really. So, yeah, it's all working beautifully. I've got compact flash card instead of hard drive in it now. So I have the option of Windows 95 that I've got running here at the moment, or 3.11. I've got a bid in at the moment on a new network card for it, which has got another 2 hours to go, so hopefully by the end of the stream tonight I'll own a network card. It's a 3COM 3C509B PCI one. Yeah, which would get this onto my network. At the moment it's connecting up. It is connected to the network, but it's connected via dial-up networking through a null modem and a modem emulator running at 115 kilobaud. So yeah, it's a bit slow. The network card would certainly help out there. Also, I have got, bring my desk background here, a friend of mine gave me today a big box, or two big boxes, but I've tidied them up a bit into one box, full of all his old games out of the attic. Oh. So I'm just going to have a quick go through them now and just see what there is in there. I mean, obviously there is Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Armageddon's Blade, big box version. It's great, he never threw anything away. So we've got the box of, full box version of Heroes 3. The Temple of Elemental Evil, Dungeons and Dragons, which just loose discs for there, I'm afraid. What else have we got? We've got the box, or half the box of Neverwinter Nights, and the manual. Quick reference card, but no discs. Oh, okay. Where do we start with this lot? Let's go from one end. What have we got? We have Three Kingdoms, Fate of the Dragon. E-Games Galaxy of Mahjong 2. Wow, that looks inspiring. Pirates of the Caribbean. Medieval Total War Viking Invasion. He loves his medieval Total War games. Heroes of Might and Magic for Blood and Honor. Risk 2. But hey, a sequel to Risk. I mean, how can you have a sequel to Risk? Rome Total War. Does love his Total War games. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Wow, I bet that's going to be a good game. Enclave. Not sure what that one is, but it sounds good. You feel the heavy cold steel of your battle axe and strike out. Groaning, the guard falls to the ground. You open the gate and enter the gloomy darkness. You only intended to save yourself. Now it's up to you to save the world. Wow. Can't wait to see these. What else is there? Oh, Operation Flashpoint. Brilliant. I used to have that game. Awesome game. Played the sequel to it. I can't remember what it's called now. Operation Flashpoint Red Dragon or something. Actually, no, this might be on here. Actually, Red Hammer. Yeah. And no, it wasn't the upgrade. It's like Operation Flashpoint 2, and it really didn't play anywhere near as well as the original. Empire Total War. Chaos League. Oh, excellent. It's like sort of it on the speedball kind of thing. A cross between football and murder. Medieval 2 Total War. Oh, Diablo 2. Brilliant game. Medieval Total War again. Dungeon Siege 2. Age of Mythology, The Titans. Oh, that's from the makers of Age of Empires. That shouldn't be too bad. Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2. Dungeon Siege, Broken World. Rune. Ah, Rune. I remember Rune. Now, Rune was... It was one of the very early attempts to have first-person fighting in melee. So swords and axes and things. And trying to have that as like I can't remember if it was first-person or third-person fighting. And it was a really early attempt at getting that sort of mechanic working. Settlers 4, excellent game. This Archangel, you are our only hope. I don't know Archangel. Yeah, we'll see what that one's like. Steel Soldiers. Ooh, Arx Fatalis. That's a good game. I remember Arx Fatalis. Be the hero you always wanted to be. Ooh, Unreal. The original Unreal. And I've got Unreal Gold version on Steam on my main computer here, but having an original copy of Unreal, awesome. Ooh, Morrowind, another good game that I've enjoyed. Used to have this on the Xbox, the original Xbox. Come back, camera, where are you off to? Ooh. Oh, there I am. Yeah, I used to have this on the original Xbox. I've now got it on Steam as well, but oh, it's nice to have the original PC version as well. Championship Chess. Okay. I don't think that's going to really see the light of day. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. He does like his Heroes of Might and Magic. Worms 2 and Worms Armageddon. Oh, I remember Worms. I used to spend hours playing Worms. Oh, that was a brilliant game. Dune 2000. I used to enjoy Dune. Oh, wow. Oh, Freelancer. Ah, oh, a brilliant game. That's a game I'm playing, apart with you playing at the moment, actually, on my main computer. Actually, no, I had it on my XP machine. Awesome. Stronghold. Stronghold Deluxe. Oh, great. StarCraft. Brilliant, brilliant game, that one. It's your sort of typical strategic takeover, everybody's base kind of game, but it's a brilliant one. Stronghold Legends. Settlers Heritage of Kings. I don't know that one. That's going to be an interesting one. Checking the network card hasn't been bid on by somebody else. Warhammer Dawn of War Dark Crusade. Excellent. I do like Warhammer games. We've got The Rise and Rule of Ancient Empires and Lords of the Realm 2. Hey, Lemmings! Brilliant. And many hours playing that on the Amiga. Mech Warrior Mercenaries. Not bad. Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. I think that's very much the sort of Civ kind of game. Be quite interesting. Battle Realms. Shadow Man. Do I know Shadow Man? Oh, another Heroes of Might and Magic 4. Ooh, StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. Another great game. Diablo 2 expansion set. Excellent. Wizardry 8. Computer RPG of the year for 2002. I'm not familiar with that one. That should be interesting. Ah, Shogun Total War. Yes, I'm not surprised. Legion. Another strategic turn-based kind of thing. He really does like those. Not bad haul there. Now, what have we got in dual cases? Tomb Raider. Excellent. Again, I used to play that on the PlayStation 1, that one, or was it 2? Brilliant game. I've got a more modern Tomb Raider on Steam, but it's not as good. Oh, Mech Warrior 2. Brilliant. Ooh, Star Wars X-Wing. Age of Mythology. Don't know that one. Oh, the original Worms. Oh, brilliant. That's going to be good. Mech Collection Manuals. I'm not sure what that one is. Death Trap Dungeon. Oh, brilliant. Classic. Warlords 3 Dark Lords Rising. StarCraft, the original. Brilliant. StarCraft Brood War. Yeah, I wasn't so sold on the Brood War expansion pack. It changed the balance of the whole game and made it a lot harder. Oh, the Wheel of Time. Oh, the Wheel of Time. If you look on the shelves behind me here, the camera would follow me. Here I've got pretty much all of the Wheel of Time books. I was a big fan of the Wheel of Time. And when I heard the game was coming out, I got kind of excited. And then the game came out, and I played the game, and it was complete and utter rubbish. I mean, it was terrible. So I am glad I've got a new copy of that, but I don't think I'll be playing it much. Corsairs, not one I'm familiar with. Mech Commander Gold. Dark Colony. Nope, not familiar with that one. Rage of Mages 2, I don't know that. Myth, the Fall of the Fallen Lords. There's a lot of this sold out software, getting software cheap. Oh, Baldur's Gate. Now that is a brilliant game. Oh. 5 CDs. Baldur's Gate, that's your sort of quintessential RPG game, that one. It's a brilliant game. It's what all the others try and be. Star Wars Rebel Assault. Baldur's Gate Tales of the Sword Coast. Excellent expansion pack. And Incubation Mission Pack and Incubation as well. No, 2 mission packs from Incubation. But I hadn't seen Incubation. Warrior King's Battles. There's various manuals here as well. Oh, a few more. Empire 2, Civil War, UFO Enemy Unknown. There's some good games here. Lord of the Realms 2 again. That's a good haul of games. Now, my problem with these is most of them are Windows XP. And I have just... Oops. Where have we got? There. Most of those are Windows XP games. 98 to XP, needing sort of Pentium 2 upwards. And I've just sort of semi-retired my XP computer because I didn't really have much on there that I was using it for. So I've taken the power supply out of it and used it in my 486 because the power supply in that was dead. I mean, this is how dead the power supply in the 486 was. Let's go back to the desk. Here's the power supply's internals, and great big hole in the middle of it. So yes, that power supply was basically relegated straight to the bin. And I replaced it with the power supply out of my XP machine. And at the same time, because the case was rather battered and broken, because the whole thing I found in the tip and just fixed up, recapped it all and got it working. But because the case is rather battered, shall we say, I've ripped everything out of it. Mode. You probably haven't seen half the stuff I've been showing you. So I've ripped out all the innards of it. So they're sort of stashed away. And the insides have now been replaced with my Amiga 500 board. So this case now is turning into the Amiga 500. So I've still got a lot of work to do on this. I mean, it's working. I've fitted a 12 volt Meanwell power supply instead of an ATX one because I don't need anything more than that in there. So we've got the original ATX, part of the back of the power supply that was in the 486. I've ripped the back off it to use as a mounting plate for a fan and the IC socket, going into a 12 volt power supply to power the whole thing. So yeah, I mean it's working, but I've not got anything like my hard drive expansion, or compact flash card expansion, or memory expansion, or anything like that, which really needs redesigning properly and creating as a proper circuit board before it goes in. But yeah, that's coming on. So yes, I'm now in the market for a new ATX power supply and case to put my XP machine back into again. But what I'm actually going to do today, now we've got all that fun out of the way, I have an old ITT KB transistor radio to sort out. This was given to me by an old DJ friend of mine who's got all sorts of old stuff like this. But this is the model number KR712. If that means anything to anybody. I'm going to have to look up, see if I can find schematics and things for this, no doubt. But made in Austria, and it's long wave, medium wave, FM and shortwave. You don't see shortwave often these days. Nasty crack in the top there from stress. And Very bent aerial. Not sure how we're going to sort that out, but it's so bent it's actually split here, cracked. So be nice to get a new aerial for it, but whether we'll get one the right size and shape, I have no idea. Handy little reference on the side here for where the 4 BBC radio stations are. Radio 1, 2 and 3 on medium wave and Radio 4 on long wave. Nothing on FM there. Notice it gives the wavelength as well as the frequency on this. Because you very often used to work in meters rather than in hertz. Yeah, I've just got an email. I'll quickly reply to this. Is there a new episode tonight? Yes, there is. There is. I'm on Twitch right now, broadcasting it live. Right. So I don't know if this is going to work at all or anything. It only runs on batteries. And the battery compartment is a little crusty, shall we say. Nice bits of green corrosion on there. And it takes 6 D cells. I happen to have 6 D cells, but they're out of my keyboard, my Yamaha keyboard, and I have used them rather a lot, so think they might be a little bit on the flat side, but we'll see. I have them if we need them. But the reason I'm thinking we need them is if we look on the base here, got the layout of the batteries here, both positives and negatives at the same end. And then you've got a power supply unit that you can get to plug in instead of the batteries, I think. But it looks like it might be a split rail. So you've got plus 4.5 volts and minus 4.5 volts. So just putting in a feed from a power supply isn't going to work. You're going to need 2 power supplies, and I've only got 1. So I think I may well need the batteries for that. Now, I'm not even sure how we get into this, because I can't see, other than on the top here, any screws anywhere. We've got external antenna connection on that side, and we've got headphones and tape recorder connection on that side. But no, other than on the top surface here, no sign of any screws. So, I think I'm just going to rip knobs off and undo these 2 screws and see if the top will lift off to provide access. Should be the only screws, the only knobs that need to come off, sorry. Okay, so we've got 2 screws on the top. I think it's highly unlikely that I would be able to find a schematic for a unit like this. Nothing moving here at all. Let's try a small screw under the edge here. Up. Right. Aha. There we go. We have partial access. And more screws, good. But we've got the typical string and pulley tuning marker arrangement. I do find those somewhat annoying. I think this might be... No, that's just a guide, isn't it? Thinking it might be a sort of light pipe system, but no, it's just a guide. Keep this in position. Right. So how do we get any deeper into it? We've got screws here. This looks likely. Oof, crack. These haven't been opened for a good number of decades. Oh, there we go. Aha, there we go. There goes the lid, the whole top. Oof. Oh, hello. There we go. We are in. And look at that lovely old construction. All hand drawn. All hand soldered. All done by hand. Beautiful. They don't make things like this anymore, but this foam here, of course, has completely perished. Nothing left of it now other than dust. So I want to carefully lift this off and get it out of the way. There we go. Throw that away. We don't want that dust. There. Nice. I mean, I've not tried this. I just want to look at it first. As old Dave on EV blog says, don't turn it on, tear it apart. That was supposed to be in an Australian accent, I think, by the way. Don't tear it on, tear it don't tear it on, tear it apart. Or something. Let's take the speaker off so that we can see the glorious components underneath. Celestion speaker, made in England. It's an Austrian designed and built radio with components made in England. Back in the days when things were made in England. Before my time. Oh, look at these. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's something you never really see these days. There's a green TO92 transistor. A green one. Never see green. It's always just black. There's really very little in here, isn't there? It's mostly capacitors, inductors, resistors, and a handful of transistors. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4. About it. Just 4 transistors, pretty much. And there's a couple of integrated. They've got an integrated module here for tuning, which might have a transistor or 2 in it. But everything else is plenty of capacitors. Some of these awkward little rod of metal tube almost resistors. A couple of tuning capacitors or inductors. Yeah, there's very little in here really by today's standards. Got a beefy power transistor on the side there for the amplifier. of AF-178s either side of it. Good old AF-178s. They were... I think the AF-178s were used in the 8-track player that I repaired a while back. Germanium ones they were, I think. Got these lovely tubular ones here. That looks in pretty good nick. I mean, I can't see any evidence of capacitor leakage, but you never know. Sure. Ooh, is there some on that one? Sure, don't think there is. That looks okay. Bit fibrous, the end of it. No, I don't see any direct leakage evidence, so I'm loath to just recap it for the sake of recapping it. So what I think I'm going to do is clean up the battery compartment and try it out. So if you'll just excuse me for a moment, I need to go and get some supplies. Okay, I'm back. I should have got this earlier, but white vinegar. Essential for cleaning corrosion. I'm also going to need a suitable brush. Where is my wire brush? Might be in my toolkit. Yes, there it is. My wire brush. Right. Let's just see if I can do something with this. No. I might take the antenna off completely, actually. This bit. Or shall I? No, I won't. I'll leave it on and see if I can do this at a bit of an angle so that it can be seen while I'm working on it. The remains of foam in here as well. Let's just scrape this out. Right, let's give the contacts a good spray with vinegar. Fizzing their way there already. There we go. They come up so clean so quickly with vinegar. It's good stuff. right through the corrosion. Of course, batteries are alkaline, hence they're called alkaline batteries. Vinegar is an acid. One neutralises the other, and you get clean contacts. Now I need my underpants. Wonderful use for underpants that are past their best. Make sure you wash them first, of course. Well, oh, this has come out. Actually, these are removable, which is good. The only downside of using vinegar for cleaning contacts like this is everything ends up smelling like a chip shop. Which is no bad thing, really, as long as you like chips. And let's face it, who doesn't like chips? There we go, getting nice and clean now. Starting to see a little bit of copper showing through there. Too clean. There we go. Nice and clean. Now there's these ones here at this end. Need a bit of a scrubbing. Feels loose, that one. Is it wired connected? Yeah, it's on wire, that's okay. Not connected to the circuit board directly. That's okay. If it was connected to the circuit board directly and was loose like that, then that was supposed to be connected to the circuit board and it was loose, then there'd be a bit of a problem, but that's just a wire on the other end. So that's no issue at all. Right, that's looking much more contact worthy. Get some of this crust out from down here. Clean up the old vinegar. Right. Contacts can go back in now. There it is. They just slot in quite happily. Right, I'm going to put batteries in and see what happens. Actually, I've never powered this up, so I don't know what, if anything, it would do. Ooh. We have noise anyway. Ugh. Ooh. Not picking up any stations, but I'm certainly picking up noise. Turn that down a bit. The pots are a bit crusty, need a good spray. This is long wave we're on at the moment, I think. This is medium wave. Short wave. And FM. And oh, there we go. I only play a brief burst of that. Otherwise, content match. FM seems to be working. And apparently if you press both of those, you get something called Q. I don't know what Q would be. But, ooh. FM certainly works, so the amplifier's working. Nice. But I'm not getting anything on medium wave or long wave, other than just noise. But given where I am with the amount of switching power supplies and LED lamps and things like that all around me, computers, and it's hardly surprising I'm not getting anything on there. But I'm going to try something. Because I have my function generator up here, which has the ability to modulate a signal. So I'm going to create my own little medium wave, I think, station. So let's go for somewhere around the 1200, I think. What do I want? Type. Can't see what I'm doing here. Menu mod. Type AM. Does that amplitude mod for AM, FM, pulse modulation, phase modulation it does. Amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, and PSK, which I can never remember is either phase shift keying or pulse shift keying. I think it's phase shift keying, isn't it? Right, carrier. Let's go for sine param frequency 120. I don't want free period, I want frequency 1200 kilo. 1.2 megahertz, okay. Turn. Source internal, 800 hertz, 100% depth. Go. So I should now be generating a signal at 1200 kilohertz with an 800 hertz tone on it. So if I take my probe and put it into the antenna socket down here, background, don't know, then let me see, I'm not on there. If I sweep across, No. Not seeing anything. A long wave. Medium wave. It's all in here. On the medium wave, it's all measured in meters. Okay, Google. What is the wavelength for 1 point...
The wavelength is
She's a bit quick there.
Periodic wave. The distance
over okay, Google.
The wave shape repeats.
What is the wavelength for 1.2 megahertz?
Sorry, I don't understand. Something similar. Do you want to know how do you convert megahertz to wavelength?
No. Okay, Google. What is 1 divided by 1.2 million?
So is 0.
It's not really good enough, that. So we'll be looking at... kilohertz wavelength is 249.75. Okay, and that means it's around about where the 1 is on here. So if I bring this up way to here-ish, I should be seeing it. Or not seeing it, hearing it. But all I get is that noise. Let me just check that I do actually have a signal. Oops. So. Maybe I'm not actually generating the audio, this signal. Oh, hang on, 2 millivolts peak to peak. That's not good. Amplitude. There we go. I am seeing 1.2 megahertz with amplitude modulation on it. In fact, I wonder if this is working. No, it's not. Okay, so I have a signal now, which I didn't have before. Well, I did, it was just so tiny, it was irrelevant. There it is. This into here. And connect. A little bit crusty in there, I think. There it goes. There we go. We are receiving AM. So I would say this has absolutely nothing wrong with it other than just corrosion in the battery compartment and a bent aerial. prove that this is definitely me, let's... And it's obviously me because nobody else is transmitting a tone like that here. Connecting, it's not easy. Let's put it on there. And we want parameters, source, internal. Hey. 2 kilohertz, 3 kilohertz. Back down and come again. Change the waveform. Nice. That's working. We received on FM. We've received our own signal on AM. I think already that's fixed. So all that's left now really is just to clean it. It's rather on the grubby side. So I'd want to clean the pots, get all the dust and dirt of grime off it, clean the case up, get the label off it. Yeah, that's a tidy little unit. So let's start. I'll take the batteries out. Just give it a good dusting, basically. There's nothing really inside. That's been well protected, so I'm not going to touch the insides. I've lost a little bit there, but fine. This piece of foam has not perished at all. That's good. We'll reuse that. Put the speaker back in. And really, just cosmetic. Just check on my Ethernet card. No more bits. Good. Excellent. Okay. There's not really much to clean up here because I mean it's grubby, yes, but it doesn't really make much difference. Not affecting how it operates at all. These switches worked well enough. They didn't need any deoxit on it. Pots, though, are another matter. There it is. No, it's not actual deoxit. This is contact cleaner, CCC by Electrolube, which is as good as deoxit. I'm sure I can get into there. Can I? I shall try. I might want to go in behind again, actually. Thinking about it. Let's take the speaker off again. Should have done this before putting the speaker on. Right, there's a gap there. Good squirting. That's feeling looser anyway. Open chassis one. I can just squirt it straight in. Stuff this. That feels good. We shall see how it performs once it's rebuilt though. Right, we'll put the speaker back in again. There we go. Right. I can put a squirt down in here, but I don't think it's really needed. Those switches were working quite happily before. Pretty rugged, those switches. The tuning has no bearing on oxidization or anything, it's just a set of fins, interleave, change capacitance. Yeah, I think we're done on the inside now really. There's not a lot there. I'll just brush the foam dust off the back. The worst part, of course, is the main chassis, the main outer case. We've got a lump of foam inside here, which brushes off. And we do all this dry first before we start doing any detergents, just to get the dust out. Where you've had foam stuck in, it does get dusty. Got a sticky label on the front here. Fill off as much as I can before resorting to chemicals. When I used to work at a computer shop many years ago, we had a spray can of this wonderful stuff called label remover, and it stank overwhelmingly of oranges, sort of bitter oranges. It was lovely stuff, but my goodness did it get labels off easily. I've never found anything quite to rival it. No doubt you can still get it, though I haven't seen it anywhere. No idea who made it. This was back in the 90s, this was, so back in the era of my my 486, because I used to build those sort of things for a living back then. So what you call retro computers, I call my bread and butter for back then. Right, nearly got off as much as I can here. But the best thing for labels that I've got at the moment is, I can find it. No. It may be in the garage actually. Okay, bear with me one moment. I need to go and get more supplies. Strange, I can't find my WD-40 anywhere. I don't know where that has gone. The WD-40 is brilliant at getting off labels. But without that, what else do I have? I've got acetone, but that might do too much damage. I don't want to use that. I've got a bit of IPA here. Running very low on IPA actually. That might have to be what I use. Where has my WD-40 gone? Oh well, let's stick some IPA on. That's coming off okay. Refill my IPA. I'm getting very low on IPA at the moment. Time to order a new bottle of it. Nearly empty. Trying to ration it a bit. That's 99% that stuff. Yeah, that's coming off nicely. There we go. Squirt. And going over with the brush. I can clean out all the dust from the grill here in front of the speaker. Looking better. Apart from, of course, all the scratches. There's not a huge amount I could do about that. There are big gashes in the surface. Now this is all one piece, I think. Or are they? Are those individual strips? They might be, actually. No, it's one solid single piece of metal, which has basically been alternately chromed and painted. So, I mean, I could repaint it, but it would mean masking off all these lines and then spraying with black paint, which would clog up the holes. There's not really a lot I can do about those scratches. I mean, I could try. This would be a bit of a strange idea. It might work, might not. I doubt very much it will. I could try the black permanent marker. But I can't see that really doing much good. But let's have a look. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I don't know actually. It's sort of working. Yeah, it might be okay actually. If I go over the whole line so it's an even colour. Where it touches there, being just a black marker, should come off easily enough, especially with a spot of IPA. Might just do the trick enough just to mask them out a little. Here's the other pointy end. I don't know how long it would last. They're not very good, these pens. Pro marker, permanent twin tip. They're not that permanent. looking okay, actually, that. Who would have thought it? The felt pen. Over the line there, and there. And those bits up. Forwards. Very deep one there. Right, nearly done. This pass, I'll turn it around and go the other direction. Now we get rid of the scratches completely, of course. There we go. Okay. I mean, that's an improvement, certainly. Not perfect by any means, but it's certainly an improvement. Clean up these bits that I've slipped. A few bits I've missed here. Just here. Change of angle shows different bits up. Probably about as good as I can expect for there. That looks, at first glance, that looks an awful lot better just from colouring it in with a felt pen. Right, I need to give the back a bit of a wipe down. Panel there. Sides. Now do the handle. With the brush in these cracks. I'll never be perfect, of course, but we can do what we can. Okay, that's looking pretty reasonable now. Right, I'm going to put this back together. Have to keep it all safe. Get this to go in. There we go. Okay, we need 2 chunky screws for the top here. Sounds like the folks are home. Right. Now this. Cleaning this is going to be slightly more tricky because we've got these handy little markers on here for the stations and I don't want to lose them. So I don't really want to use IPA on the top surface of this. There are bits around where the knobs are here where it might help. That's more of a gouge there, I think, than a mark. So there's not really a lot I can do about that. Just use friction on most of the dirt on here. We'll just use a little bit of IPA this end. Got a bit sticky down here. Nothing I can do about the crack in this either. And ideally you'd replace the whole unit with a new panel. I'm sure we could print a new backing sheet and stick it onto some new what's it called? I want to say acetate, it's not acetate. I don't know what this stuff's called now, begins with an A. Like a form of polycarbonate. Acrylic, that's the word I'm looking for. Acrylic. Get a new sheet of acrylic laser cut. Stick on a new back sheet. But no need. This one's fine. Crack in it is only really cosmetic. Need some of the rust out from these holes though. Right, screws work. Neat there by the looks of things. There we go. Looks pretty reasonable now, I suppose, considering its age. There we go. 2 screws for the top of here. I could take those screws and clean them actually, but that's a lengthy job. Easy enough to do, just leave them overnight in a little glass with vinegar in them, but they're fine. Knobs, that's what I say. Knobs to you. Rusty around the bottom here. Not sure if that's actual crustiness or where it's worn away. We're seeing the plastic underneath the metal effect. No, I think that is actual crustiness. It's starting to come off. That'll ever come clean. That one is the tuning knob. Goes there. These 2 here. we go. Come up fairly easily. On tone. And this one here. Tone. One of them has a... Yeah. I shall put this one on the volume because it has the marker on it, which points you down to the off button. There we go. Tone one has no little marker. There we go. Right, can these come off? They can. Oops, come back. Lively little thing. Okay. Hope they go back on again. Yep. Oh, shortwave doesn't want to come out. No, these don't want to come off. I shall just have to clean them in situ. I think the FM one coming off was not normal. I seem to be losing... Oh, we're back. I think we're back. Yes, I think I've dropped some frames. Going at a bit of a low rate at the moment. Dropping frames. Why am I dropping frames? This isn't supposed to happen. Anyway, apart from the antenna, dropping a lot of frames. Apart from the antenna, I think we're about done with this now. Get this to push in. Picking this up if I can. Still dropping frames. I don't like dropping frames. Use only 22%. I've only been going an hour and 25 minutes. I don't mind if this doesn't ever come out again, as long as it looks good. I've still got this kink at the end. Still dropping frames? Why am I dropping frames? Oh well, we're as good as there with it now. Let's put the batteries back in, put the bottom on. And I think I am going to call it there for this stream. Obviously not happy at the moment. Oh, I just found a bit I need to clean. Oh, look at that fizz. That is so alkalinic. Comes off so easily there. So satisfying. Spotless. And we're still dropping frames. It does not like it, does it? What is the problem it has? It's been working perfectly and then all of a sudden start dropping frames in about an hour and a half. Is it my computer's getting too hot? It is pretty warm today. Fans are going not too bad. So, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm loath to stop and restart the stream. That'll fragment it, and I don't like fragmented streams. But helps if you actually press a button. There we go. Contact match on that.
Where the list of hopeful successors is progressively whittled down to
That's working nicely. Just wish the antenna wasn't still sticking out. I have to see if I can find a new antenna for this, although that's going to be pretty tricky. I just need to see if I can straighten this just a little bit more to get it to go in. It's so close. But it might go in. I don't know. It's close, very close. Anyway, I'm going to call it there, I think. Still dropping frames, like Billy-O. So there we have it, the ITT KB model KR712. Working beautifully. Nice and clean again. Just a shame about the antenna. I'll have a shop around, see what I can find, but I don't hold that much hope for it. So yes, there we go. Let's get my main camera back up. So, thank you for watching and spending your time with me. That's been a fun little journey through the ends of that unit. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back next week, next Monday at the same time, 7 o'clock British summer time, or whatever time that is where you are. Look out for me on Discord and YouTube, all the usual places. Links are everywhere around, up there, down there, who knows where. But yeah, you find me around the place. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you do on the platform that you're seeing this on. And yes, I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching.